there's like an 8-foot person beside it, and another one's inside, and it has big eyes and it's looking at us, and it's still there.
Okay, where is this on your property?
In my backyard. I swear to God, this is not a joke. This is actually, we're terrified of it.
So there's 2 people or 2 subjects that are in your backyard?
Correct, and they're very large. They're like 8 foot, 9 feet, 10 foot. I don't know. They look like aliens to us. Big eyes. They have big eyes, like I can't explain it, and big mouth. They're shiny eyes, and they're not human. They're 100% they're not human.
Welcome to Extraterrestrial Reality. Prepare to have your minds completely blown with today's episode. I could assure you. I've made some other discoveries in the Las Vegas alien video, and I think it's pretty significant. I think that this is another breakthrough, and we're going to get into it right off the bat. We're going to start, of course, like the last episode. I focused on the cab, and I actually indicated that I didn't think that was not going to be the last time I talked about that. The cab area of the front loader. And we're going to talk about that again today because, for the most part, we're going to talk about it. Because I found some things in there that I just was failing to see before. Probably some people have contacted me and pointed some things out. And thank you very much. There was several people, so several emails I received from people. Also some comments on YouTube about this. And I'm going to, there were things I did miss, and there were some things I found that I didn't see before, and I'm not sure if anybody saw them before, and we're going to talk about it, and we're going to start, this is a close-up, of course. We're going to get right into it today. I mean, I've talked about this case a number of times, and I will refer to the big 3. Before I just want to point out, too, every time this needs to be made clear, okay? This has been proven already. We're already beyond this being proved. There's an alien presence here, NHI, whatever you want to call it. There's something here. They're not humans, and obviously they have technology that exceeds anything that we have. This has been proven with the. There was 3 different points during that 1 minute and 41 second long video filmed by the Kenmore family over a year ago, late night of April 30th, early morning hours of May 1st, 2023. It's been verified by video analysis experts. Scott Roeder and his team had looked over this video a number of times, and of course, as we all know, it was determined that there was something, we see something that chased those people out of the yard when they attempted to go back into the yard to investigate. There was something most certainly there. There was the creature that appeared behind the fence. His head lurched over the fence. And of course, I think the coup de grace to all of this was the little gray creature that has since been identified. That's solid, 3-dimensional, flesh and blood kind of creature. Shows up momentarily and then fades off. It's distorted. You can see a distorted image of this creature. And then you see it clearly for a few seconds, and then it becomes distorted again, and it disappears. These creatures, I am convinced, especially after today's presentation, you are going to see these creatures were using some kind of cloaking technology, and this what I'm going to present today is supporting evidence to that effect. And in fact, there are times when it seems like they may have been standing in front of each other, like or back to back, or like when they were getting filmed. There are instances, which I'm going to show you at least one of these instances, where one of them is standing there and there's one behind it, and it moves, and then you can see the one behind it. The one in front becomes cloaked and disappears. You could see it momentarily, then it moves, and then you can see the one behind it. So let's get started right off the bat here. I'm going to play this. Now this is during the portion of the video after they got chased out of the yard, and they're all upset, and then they decided to open up the gate and train the cell phone camera back into the backyard again, onto the heavy equipment, onto that front loader, and that's what I'm going to be focusing on again here today, is that front loader. for the most part. There were definitely things that were in and or out in front of that front loader. There is no question about it. This is going to be additional evidence, supporting evidence that goes along with the other stuff that has already been established and proven. And I could assure you, I believe that this presentation today is going to blow your mind. Anyway, now let's play this video. This is right when they start filming that backyard, that front loader. There's some stuff going on here. You know, is there some pareidolia here? Because it looks like this could be like an alien face. You know, similarly to how that the Mr. UB, the backbreaker, like I like to call him, was distorted, and then you see him later. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, because what you're going to see soon here is going to negate any concerns like that. Yeah, there's something that comes into play right here, right there. This is a creature right here. This thing all of a sudden appears here. You could see it. You could see there's this is a head. This is eye here. This is an eye here. This is the top of its head. These are the eyes. This is very similar to one of the drawings that was provided a year ago this month, September of last year, on Inside Edition. Bobby Kenmore, the father, along with Angel Kenmore, one of the sons, drew some pictures of what they saw. And this here, as you will see later, looks like the kind of creature that was drawn by Bobby Kenmore, the father. And there's another creature that appears here later, which looks like the same creature whose head appeared over the fence. But anyway, I just want to point this out because this is important. Now, I just want you to watch this. This is amazing stuff. I'm going to go in and out of this. I'm going to slide back and forth. You can see it. It's moving around. It looks like it's something standing there, and then it gets blurry. And as it gets blurry, it starts moving off to the right. You see it? Moves off to the right there a little bit, right? But behind it, there's something else standing there. And when this thing moves off to the right, you're going to see that something else, because this thing in the front was apparently cloaking itself. Or actually, at some point, the camera must have failed, and it captured this image, this thing, whatever it is, standing there at the edge of this front loader, at the front of it, and it for just a few seconds it captures it, and here you see it comes in the view there, and watch, it seems to fade off to the right slowly. I'm going slowly for a second there. It looks like you could, yeah, look at it. You can see like a long body, a thin skinny body. But when it moves out of view, you get to see what's standing behind it. There's a short kind of creature back here. Look at this thing. There's an eye there, an eye there. This is its body. You can see an arm hanging over there, an arm hanging over there, and this is its body. Let me show you this a few times so it sinks in. Look at it. Okay, here's that thing that's standing in front of it, the creature that's standing in front of it. It shifts off to the right, and it reveals another creature standing behind it. So these things were that's probably one of the reasons why it's so hard to see these things, because if they're semi-transparent, like something out of an Invisible Man movie, and they're standing in front of each other, stacked, and we're trying to film it, that makes it even more difficult to see unless they move. Unless you blow up the picture, this is what we have to do to try to see, to mine out what was there, what these people were seeing. You could actually see, before this thing moves out of view, you could actually see the eye of the creature that's standing before it, along with one of its arms. But then that thing that's in front of it, fades or just becomes distorted or moves off to the right or something. And for very briefly, you could see something standing behind it. Now, I did do a still picture of the one behind it here. Let me see if I could pull it up. There it is. That's a still picture. That's a blow up of it, of the one that's standing behind it. There you can see an eye here, an eye here. This could be arms, appendages pointing outward, and it looks like this is a body. And this is the creature that was standing in front of it just before it moves away. Let's go back to that again. We'll go to the video version there. Yes. Yeah, you can see it. Like it comes into view just briefly. It's the shape of a body. And then just briefly, and then it just disappears. Now, here's the drawing. If you look at the two different drawings, okay, the one on the right here was the one that was drawn by Angel Kenmore. He was talking about 8 to 10 foot tall creatures, and the one on the left was the one that was drawn by Bobby Kenmore. And if you remember, This is the Bobby Kenmore was the one in the lead when they went in the backyard, and then something approached it. I believe, after looking at studying this video, that this was the one that chased him out of the yard. This is the one that Bobby Kenmore said he saw. That's what this looks like, the same kind of thing that we see appearing here. I think that this is the one and the same. But then the other one is the one that popped its head over the fence, which appears around the same area later on, as you will see. Okay, here it comes in the view. This is the one. I believe this is the one that probably chased him out of the yard. And we'll look at that video in a second. You can see it's very strange looking. It looks like at some points it looks like there's if you look at it, at first blush you might think that it's like the head is in the shape of a V, and that there might be a split on the top. But if you at closer examination, no, that's not a split on the top. That's just part of its head. But you can see the eye here, an eye there, and this is a skinny head, skinny body, right? And then it moves off to the right. It becomes faded. It starts cloaking or whatever. You can see it, and then it's gone. It moves away, and it reveals something else, a smaller being standing beside it. So this helps corroborate my assertion and the assertion of many other people that backyard was filled with creatures, filled with them. They're all over the place. Now, this stuff doesn't last long. Obviously, they didn't want to have themselves filmed, and they're doing things to prevent that from happening. But as we see, we are seeing them, albeit briefly, but we are seeing them. And then it just drifts off. And then if we go, I'm going to take a gander over here at this video. I believe this is one that was Scott Roeder had prepared. You can see that I think that skinny one we're seeing is this one right here that we're seeing right here. You see him popping up. I think that might be one and the same. This is different than the one that shows up over the fence. So here we go. I'm going to just pause it here for a second. Yeah, you could see like this thing that scared them out of the yard. You only see something moving briefly, right? You can see the movement of it. It pops out of nowhere, and there it is. You can see it. I'm gonna try to get it. Yeah. Now look at that. I think that this thing here, whatever it is, I think this was doing some sort of cloaking here because, again, what that same thing that I was just talking about looks like the top of the head has like an indentation on it, but I don't think that's what it is. I think that the eyes are set off to the right here, and I think it might have been cloaking itself. Just imagine if this had been a human being chasing them out of the yard, we would have clearly seen that human being face. We would have, but we don't because they're obviously using some sort of cloaking technology. Okay, let's get back to that video here, and we'll play it one more time to give you the idea. Yeah. Here it comes, something comes, like there's movement and it's fuzzy, you can't really see anything, but then all of a sudden things clear up, all of a sudden real out of nowhere, and there you see something. Whatever this is, it's blocking it's blocking the front, that corner edge of the front loader, you could see it. And then it just fades out. It fades off to the right, and then behind it you see this thing, whatever that thing is. It looks like a short kind of gray kind of creature maybe, but an alien, and nonetheless you have to ask yourself questions like, how many instances, how many different points throughout this video do we see something, alien faces, alien heads? Now we're starting to find full alien bodies, not just heads hanging over a fence, but like in this case here, we're seeing what I believe is an alien standing up, and this is part of its body. It's skinny body, just like in the drawing. If you look at the drawing, let's go back to the drawing again. This is that's what I think that is. And then if we go back up here again and look at this, let's see here. Yeah, I mean, to me, I think that's one and the same. Yeah. It pops in the view there. It becomes clear for just a second. No, as clear as you're going to get. I mean, okay, it's not. Is it super clear? No, but it's clear enough to see that there was something there. And you can see it just like starting to get hazy, foggy looking. And then it starts moving off to the right, revealing that other thing behind it. And looks like that other thing behind it too was using immediately moved to some sort of cloaking. But you can see the body here. You can see the head. And so yeah, there's some more fuel to the fire for everyone to think about. But that's not all. Let's continue here with this video. You'll see something else in this video, which is truly amazing, and I believe it's the other creature, the one that whose head appears above the fence. It gets all blurry here. There was some camera movement. They zoomed in, and then you're going to see something here that I think is the same, one and the same as the creature that appears above the fence. This is something that people have been pointing out to me a lot for a while now. Like this, just for instance, I want to stop for a second. I think this right here that appears momentarily, I think this could be a part of the front loader. I don't know. I'm not sure. I think it is though, right there. Well, let's try to find it again. Yeah, I think that that one thing right there, it's part of the front loader. That's what I think. Doesn't make me right, but I think it is. You see some looks like I don't know, but it looks like right there. That thing here looks like it could be some section of the front loader that just we get to see, because the blurriness around in front of it and everything that's all around there that's going on, probably because of these creatures that are using cloaking technology is blocking it out. All right, let's continue here. Now off to the right here, this is where something right in here is a bigger head appears, and it looks like it's, I don't know if it's crouched down or what, but remember Angel Kenmore said they had big eyes, shiny eyes. This thing has shiny eyes. It has an eye here. You can see this eye to the left more than you can see the one on the right, and I think sometimes you see a profile, more of a profile. Like look at right here. I think you're seeing an eye here, but just wait, you'll see a better version of this as this video moves on, and we'll talk about that. And this creature here, actually, you'll see, it looks just like, at one point, it looks just like, look at this. There's an eye here. This is an eye here. It looks just like the kind of creature that people, the 4 people in the Allagash, that were members of the Allagash 4, had seen. You'll see. But I just want to point out something right there. Like, yeah, somebody said to me after the last video that this was the back of the creature. Yeah, I think I thought it was a tear or a rip or something. Like I couldn't tell what it was. But yeah, I think right here, I think maybe the cloaking failed in that area, because you could see part of this creature. I don't know if it's the back, like maybe the back of its neck or something. Possibly. I'm not sure. But let's continue to play it here. Yeah, at one point it gets all blurry, but because there was some movement. You could see, yeah, you could see this face just standing there. It's like just sitting there, but it moves around sometimes, and as you'll see. And actually, I have a GIF that I created out of this where its mouth actually moves. You can see its mouth opening and shutting, and I'm going to show you that. Anyway, wait till you see that. Anyway, we're going to continue here. Yeah, you see it. You can still see something there, and then it gets all blurry, and you can still see something there. You can still make something out a little bit. Then it gets really blurry. There's some camera movement. There, right there. Look at this. Okay, you could see it. It's moving. It's there. There's something there. Right there. Look at this. This is probably the best shot right here. The best image. You could see it. There's an eye there. An eye there. You can see its head go around. You can see it's like its mouth is like, it looks like its front of its mouth is pointy. And I'll show you later on when you compare this with one of the drawings from that was drawn by the Allagash 4. It looks like the same exact thing to me. Now, of course, the Allagash 4. Let me just, before we even get into that part. That happened in 1976. There were 4 friends, or 2 of them were brothers, Jack and Jim Weiner, and then Chuck Rack and Charlie Foltz. They went on this wilderness adventure in the Allagash wilderness in Maine. And they saw a UFO on one of the nights that they were there, or actually 2 of the nights, but one of the nights they were actually chased in there in a canoe trying to do some night fishing, and they were chased by this UFO. And then they had some missing time, and then it wasn't until at least a decade later when some of them start having dreams, remembering what happened during that missing time. And one of the drawings turns out to look just like this thing here. And this thing here, I believe, again, is the same thing. If you look at the creature that chased them out of the yard, or excuse me, the creature whose head appears above the fence, I think this is that one. I think this is that one. That's what I think. And I think I'm right about that. But anyway, let's just play the rest of this video out, and then we'll go back. I'll show you some comparisons. Yeah, it gets all fuzzy and stuff here. It gets blurry again, but you could still see it. It was still there the whole time as the video plays out. Yeah. But it was, and look, at one point it looks like there might have blinked. I know some people say it looks like it blinks its eye there. I'm not sure if that's a blink or if it's just some distortion. But whatever the case, something is there. I'm convinced of it. All right. Now let's see here. Yeah, I took some. Yeah, and additionally, right now I talked the other day. Here's another case of a creature appearing in front of another creature. This was the one I talked about the other day. This is a still of it. You could see it from far away. This is, let me blow it up. Now, the big one's in the back, but in front of it looks like there's a smaller one. There it is. This is the, you could make out the body. You could see, like, maybe this is the same one that we were talking about before, and it just, that was moved over here. It could be, I don't know, or it could be a smaller one, but you can make out the head a little bit there. You can see an eye there, skinny body. It looks like long arms and legs, but it's standing in front of, again, it's in front of it, of this other one, and you can see through it a little bit. It's because they're cloaking. Okay, and then I took some snapshots of this creature that shows up here. Some of the best ones you'll see. Okay, there's the next, that's the next frame after that. There's the frame after that. It looks like it's moving its head. And this is the best picture, I think. Let's go back and forth there. Look at it. See that? I mean, to me, looks like that. Okay, and before we get into the mouth one, let's see, what's this? Okay. Yes, this is something else I wanted to talk about. Now, at one point, when this creature is there, this is the head right here. This thing, I don't know what this is, appears. As I'm going to do a close-up of it. You see this weird thing. It looks, I don't know if it's some kind of an instrument or, but the issue is, I thought maybe it was just maybe part of the front loader or something. Here's a close-up of it. Like this right here. It looks like it's blocking the face of this bigger creature in the back. Well, it's obscuring it somewhat. Like, I think its other eye would be right here somewhere, but this thing here is obscuring it. But if you remember a few podcasts ago, I was talking about one of the creatures that appears down below, off to the right of the heavy equipment, and I thought that this looks like the same thing. It looks like it was blocking this face here. This, to me, right here, this is an eye here. This is another eye here. This is its head, but there's this thing that's blocking its face. And I think that thing here is could be similar. It looks similar to this thing here. I have no explanation for it. I just thought I'd point it out. Of course, I thought that this creature here was the same as undeniable backbreaker. That was my thoughts on it. I'll show you. If you recall, I took the head, I did a cutout of the head of the undeniable backbreaker, and I superimposed it on top of this one right here, as you see. Yeah, I think that's one and the same, just as a reminder. Yeah, in addition to the stuff I'm showing you now, there was stuff happening all over the place at the same time, just as a friendly reminder. Okay, let's move on here. Oh yeah, this was something else. This was something sent to me by one of my followers, Rock Bobster, sent this to me, and this is something that he saw. So in addition, behind here, like, here's that head that I've been pointing out right here, right? But behind it is something else. So I just want to show you this quick. So there could be something behind it. Looks like right here, there could be an eye here, and a head here at one point during the video. And it moves. Rock Bobster has pointed this out. He sent me this in an email and uploaded this video to his YouTube channel. I'll leave the link in the description to to Rock Bobster's YouTube channel. This is from his YouTube channel. This was his analysis. It looks like this thing moves behind it. I just want to point this out quick before we move on. Yeah, see this? Yeah, you can see. Looks like there's a head, something, and again, stacked. They're stacked. They could have been stacked. So yeah, I thought that was interesting too. So it looks like there could have been even something else there at another point in the video. So I wanted to point that out. All right, and now I just want to play this. Here we go. I'm just going to play this out. This is like a slower motion version of this creature. You see it moving. Very strange. I just do it like a, back to back. It's basically repeating the same thing over and over again so you get an idea. But anyway, we'll move on from that. I'm going to show you a comparison here. Now again, this is the creature, right? This is the one of the frames, and then if you Look at this thing right here from the Allagash 4. They encountered these creatures. This is one of the things they remembered. It was an insect-like. When you look at that face, that's what it looks like. And for people who are having trouble seeing it here, I did this. I filled it in so you could see it. This is where the eyes are. This is where the head is tilted. Comes down to a point, right? Okay, let's go back to the original. There's the original. There's that, so you could get a better idea. If you're having trouble seeing it, and then you take that off, that's what it looks like. To me, there's an eye here, an eye there. This looks like the same thing that appeared over the fence. I think this is probably the same creature. Let's see here. And then there's this, which I think is the same. And I do have a side-by-side I could show you. Let's go to that. There's a side-by-side. There's the one that was drawn by one of the Wiener brothers. And that, to me, looks like a match. Now, the one creatures that they saw back in '76, the ones that they remembered under hypnosis, I don't think they were 8 to 10 feet tall, but that doesn't mean that they weren't, or that they don't have ones that are 8 to 10 feet tall. Maybe there's, who knows how it works. Let's see here. Yeah, there's the creature. There's a side-by-side view again. I mean, to me, that looks pretty close, pretty darn close. And if you read the book, the Allagash Abductions by Raymond Fowler, there's a bunch of illustrations in there, similar ones, and some of them do take on that same kind of look. Okay, let's go to this now. I did a close-up of it. There we go. Well, it just plays out. You can see it moving. And then it moves, looks like it turns its head slightly toward the camera, and then it's one of its eyes is obscured by something here, it seems. But to me, right, again, all of this constitutes more evidence. But we're gonna go now to where at one point in the video, this thing is moving its mouth. Okay, and we're gonna play that. You can see its mouth moving, and I did it. And I have it on a loop here, so you could see it better. And here I'll play it for you. Look at right down in this area. You can see a mouth opening and closing, mouth opening and closing. See that? That's what it looks like, a mouth opening and closing. And at the same time, you see some action going on back here. I don't know. Is that an arm? I don't know. I mean, is an eye here and an eye here? We're seeing the side of its mouth opening, or is it more of a profile at this point? You're seeing a little bit of its smacking its lips a little bit. I don't know, but I find it highly interesting. I find it pretty awesome to be able to be talking about real aliens. This is what this is. We're talking about video of real, actual extraterrestrial / NHI kind of creatures. That's what we're talking about here, folks. That's what we're talking about here. And this footage we're looking at today, I think it's amazing stuff. I think all of it together, when you put it all together, I mean, the totality of the evidence, I talk about the totality of the evidence all the time. That totality, the number of different events connected with this now seems to keep growing. We have more and more evidence, more supporting evidence that helps does corroborate what we already have. We already been able to prove that there were the aliens in that backyard that night. We have already done that. Now this is, like I've said before, this is gravy. We're finding more stuff, additional evidence, and I find that all of it fascinating. But this, to me, like I said, it looks like it might be opening its mouth a little bit and closing it. That's what it looked like to me. So I have it on a loop there. I find it amazing. All of this is amazing. All of it. It's all fascinating. And I'm really happy that we're able to actually have something now. To me, this is concrete evidence, all of this. And to me, it's mind-blowing to me. It's most certainly mind-blowing. And I find it fascinating. I want to go back to the other stuff I was talking about earlier, because I find this mind-blowing too, right here. This is amazing. This is amazing stuff to me. Look at that thing. It's standing there. I'm going backward right now with it. Now I'm going to go forward. And then it moves off. I mean, look at right here. Look at this. And then it moves off to the right, revealing this. Look at that. Look at that. Arm, eye, head, body. Yep. And this is, I think there could be other, I mean, I've talked about other things in this video too. I'm just focusing on these certain things, on these particular things today. As we all know, there's a lot of stuff going on in this video. But to me, this is really fascinating. I think it's interesting because now I feel, this is, for me, right, this is the first time I think that I felt like I was able to, I think there's enough convincing evidence now to show that, some of these creatures that were seen, they said, 8 to 10 foot tall creatures. And if you look at the drawings again, they're the one drawn by Angel is different than the one drawn by his father. Okay. This one has more of a flattish kind of head and longer neck. And this one here, I mean, has a bigger kind of more roundish head. And that's what we're seeing now after, in addition, right, to, in addition to the stuff we already had. Now we could say, yeah, it looks like, both of those two, looks like they were two different creatures, two different tall creatures appeared in the background here at some point later on, after they were out of the yard, after it was all, they got scared out of the yard. It looks like they appeared back here. That's what it looks like to me right there. Look at this. This is the skinny one that chased that the father drew, right? And then this disappears, and it makes, like I said, this is fascinating to me. The fact that behind it, it reveals another creature, a smaller one, similar to, I guess, the kind that I pointed out, similar to UB, I guess. And then, of course, we have this other thing now. We have this other creature that we're talking about. That I mean, it's incredible to me. It's the evidence now is it's just undeniable. It's undeniable. Here we go. Let's look at this one again. The big-headed one with the shiny eyes, just like Angel said. There it is. I saw that before, and I just wasn't making the connections. And now, slowing it down, going through it frame by frame, and then coming upon a pretty decent, set of frames where you could actually make it out pretty clearly for, momentarily. It was, now I see it. Now I could see what's happening here. Now I understand. And I just think it's amazing. As you see, it's like more, it's hard to tell. It's hard to tell. But then this happens right up here. Where is it? Yeah, here we go. And here's the one in front of it too. Don't forget about this one. Transparent. You could see through it, but you could still see the one behind it. But then look at this. This to me. Look at this thing. That is incredible to me. And again, side by side, you put it up against the other ones. You put it up against the Allagash 4, and you look what you got. There you go. To me, yep. They're here, folks. It's real. No wonder the Pentagon never responded to the letter that I sent them. Actually, that letter will be sent. That email, it was sent in an email. It was sent to the Pentagon as well as to the Department of Energy. That will be 3 months anniversary tomorrow on September 11th, because it was June 11th when I sent it. So September 11th, which of course 9/11. That will be the 3-month anniversary, and still no response. No wonder they never responded. They looked at this video and they see, what are they going to say? Anything they say, if they say there's nothing there, then I could, soon other people are going to put up stuff like this and say, what are you talking about? There's more evidence than what we pointed out to you in that letter. No doubt about it. No doubt. There you go, folks. It's a match. It's a match. Anyway, I want to say thank you all for joining me. Until next time.